Hello, welcome to PODnas. This is a sports show with a little bit of a Southern flair. My name is Daniel Hawks. That's Jared Roser. And today we are doing something super special. We are going to be having a college football draft. We'll get into what that means very shortly. But Jared Roser, how are you doing?
Good, man. I mean, football's here, dude. By the time this is out, we'll be in the last couple of days of non-college football having because we're filming this on the Tuesday of week 0.
And I'm super excited. I can't wait for college football. It's going to be so much fun, so great. And we wanted to do something to kind of get us pumped up even more than we already are. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a draft for the 12 college football playoff spots that are going to be locked up by the end of this season. First ever time that we are going to have a playoff with this many teams. It's expanded after we've had 4 teams for the last, 5-6 years, I believe, something in there. And before that was the wonky BCS. But now we're going to a 12-team playoff style. And we thought, why don't we do a little fantasy draft? We're going to pick teams. We're gonna do that, and then by the end of it, each of us is going to have 10 teams. So we're each going to be picking 10 in a snake fashion. Jared will go. I'll pick twice. Jared will pick twice. We'll get to flipping a coin to see who's going to have that first overall pick here shortly. But here's the breakdown. We're going to have 8 power conference teams and 2 non-power teams. So of those 10 teams, like we said, we're going to have our bigs, Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, LSU. And then we'll have some of those non-power teams, like we've got App State, we've got Liberty, Tulane, ULL, things like that. Those teams that might not make it into that top 12, but at least one of them will have a shot to get in there, possibly 2 if maybe the world goes crazy, but we'll see.
I think importantly right now, I need any Cajuns fans that are watching to make note of only Daniel said ULL instead of UL. I took no part in anything.
I did. Come at me. Whatever. I'm in Chicago.
I didn't say one way or the other. So LSU fans, leave me alone too, because as we've all learned on the Twitter sphere around here, you're pretty damned if you do, damned if you don't, if you refer to them as anything but Cajuns.
And you know what? I went to LSU, so ULL. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Come at me. Your boos make me smile. No, but seriously, I love you guys. I spent time in Lafayette and had a lovely experience. But we're going to break this down a little bit more. We're doing that snake draft for every team that we get within those top 12, within the 12 playoff teams. Every power 4 team, we're going to get 1 point. If you get any of those non-power 4 teams, we're each going to get 2 points. If the team gets a first round bye, we're looking at Georgia, probably heavily favored to be one of those first round buys. That team, whoever gets that, whether it's Jared or myself, they're going to get an extra point. And I know you're saying, what, you're just doing this to do it? What are you going to do? No, the loser, whoever has the least amount of points at the end of the season, is going to have to sing a 30-second song about why the other person's teams and picks are so much better than theirs. And that's going to be great. And I can't wait to hear your voice, Jared. It's going to be lovely. So
you're so much more confident on air than off of it. And I think that's important. Good for you, man.
Oh yeah. Well, listen, I finally saw the light from the time that we did our pre-show into here and saw how right I'm going to be. I just, the Red Sea was parted, the clouds became open, and it just declared me the winner. That's never gone poorly for me in my life ever again. There's going to be one little wrinkle and one last thing. Then we're going to get into this draft. We've got this thing called Haterade. Wait for graphic.
I didn't know if we were both about to just say Haterade.
Haterade. So what this is going to be is we're each going to get maximum of 2 Haterade picks. What that Haterade pick is that at the end of when we get through all of our teams, one of us is going to pick for the other person a power 4 team that just isn't going to make it, that we think the other person picked that has no shot of making it into that 12 team playoff. So we're going to get at least one of those. Now, we each have an optional second Haterade that we can use, but it can only be used within the time of the draft. If it is The second we get done with that 20th team, that Haterade pick is out the window. If you haven't used it, it's like NBA timeouts. They're just gone. All right. So are you ready to get this started? I think we should get this started.
Yeah, man, I'm good with it.
Oh, I love your enthusiasm for this.
Go ahead.
Who's gonna go first? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, go ahead
Well,
and get your nerd coin out, friend.
just like in any other professional sport where there are coin flips at the beginning, there's a commemorative coin, and we are at PODnas, we are no different. So I have this little coin. I'll get it right in here. Yeah, there you go. I got it at
Still in the
Avengers
protective
Infinity War.
casing.
Yeah.
Keeping it mint.
Avengers Infinity War opening night fan event. I was there. That's right. So we've got the Avengers logo right here, and I've got a Thanos glove right here. Jared, I'm going to let you pick. What do you want? Do you want the Thanos glove or the Avengers A?
Wait, hold on. What are the Avengers glove
Heads.
or Thanos? Give me the Thanos, whatever Thanos thing is.
Okay, so you want tails. Tails is going to be Thanos right there. We're going to give you a little pick right here. Best two out of three? No? Okay, just one?
Just,
all right.
Just the one. I got sidetracked there. Just amazed at how many women you're going to have to beat off with a stick after this, after they see your
I do what I do, baby. You are going to be the number one pick.
All right.
Thanos, who ruled them all. That's not even, he didn't even say that. That was Lord of the Rings. I just Lord of the Rings. I mixed up my nerd, which now I'm going to lose. I'm going to lose that attention, that attraction, that immediately.
Old double down nerddom. So am I just jumping in because I'm going to take.
Let's get it started. The 2024 PODnas college football draft, the first inaugural college football draft, has officially I didn't even say first or inaugural together. Let's just get the draft started. Let's get the draft started. I think that's the better way to go.
I'm going to take the Georgia Bulldogs. You mentioned them multiple times in there, which made me feel like you were probably about to make an early move on them. I think they were one of my two choices realistically for a top pick anyway. And so it's a team that has been as consistent as anyone in the country in recent years. The defense will be salty yet again. I mean, I like where Carson Beck is taking the reins of that program. And so, I've got.
Listen, I'm going to go with the Ducks out of Oregon. All right. I think them coming into the Big Ten. I think also with how they've re-upped in the transfer portal as well, but kind of how Mizzou, when they came into the SEC and had that nice little run of 2 years in a row to the SEC championship game. I think Oregon has the potential to kind of do that and come in with a much different look than some of these Big Ten teams have seen, but they also have kind of a little bit of the power to kind of match some of that Big Ten power that they're known for. So I'm going with Oregon.
Good deal, man. I like the Ducks. We talked about water birds on our last episode.
I mean, yeah. So we got to keep the theme. We got to keep it going.
The regal waterfowl.
And so we're going in the steak draft. I'm going to go next. I'm going to go ahead and pick Texas. I'm going to pick Ewers. I'm going to pick Arch Manning.
Okay.
And as much as I'm going to enjoy doing this all season, I guess I won't do it as much full of my heart. I just think that they have a solid team. I think Ewers is such a good quarterback. And if for some reason he gets hurt, we get to see how good Arch Manning is. And I'm willing to bet on a Manning in college. They've done some good things. So
I am a fan of this Texas team. I think people are a little bit more mixed on them this year than last year. And I feel like they're going to, be a consistent playoff type contender right now, even in that first year in the SEC. So I don't hate that. But what I like more than all of this is the two teams that I looked at as my number one pick options were Georgia and Ohio State, who I will now take both of, getting the Buckeyes. We've heard so much the last couple years, Ryan Day talking about how they're a tough football team. He doesn't want to hear Lou Holtz or anybody else criticize them. I think they will be a pretty tough football team this year in terms of that defense and the running backs with Henderson and Judkins coming up from Ole Miss. And they've had talent every single year at wide receiver and continue to have some good talent there. Will Howard comes up from Kansas State, but the defense and running game, I think they're going to be steady and a potential. I think they and Oregon are essentially the likely Big Ten champs. And so I got one of them. Feel
Hey,
good about that.
same. Having the
And
other.
and snake wise, I think this honestly, once we get through these first four, is where it starts to get real interesting. I will take as my third team, the fifth pick overall, Penn State. I guess
Oh,
for
you son of a nugget.
I guess for very similar reasons to everything that I just said about Ohio State, and I mean, I also about Georgia. Really, Penn State has been in recent years a consistent team that wasn't going to make the 4-team playoffs the way a lot of these SEC teams and whatnot were, but they were steadily a top 10-ish team. And if they're that this year, then they're good. And I think they have a chance to make some plays at the quarterback position, but more than that, the steadiness of another good defense and the ability to control some things on the ground. They'll win some ugly games along the way. They might let one get away, but as long as they have the type of season they've been having, they're a team that benefits greatly from the extended playoff.
Great. All right. Hey, well, the first steal. Oh man. I wish you would have done something before pre-show about if someone steals your pick right before, but that's what the second year of this is going to be. So we're just getting our feet wet here. I think I'm going to start off and I'm just going to go write my picks back to back. I'm going to do Notre Dame and Ole Miss. Those are going to be my next two. I think Lane Kiffin, after, this is 6th year there, they have on paper what looks like a great team. And you've seen the last couple of years how exciting that Ole Miss offense can be under Lane Kiffin. I think, kind of with, especially in the, I guess, former SEC West, with Alabama kind of not necessarily being unseated, but there being question marks there. I think it's a perfect time for a team like Ole Miss, team like LSU to kind of come in and take control of that. And then for Notre Dame, I'm in Chicago, man. Let's just call it what it is. This is a homer pick. they're gonna get on me up here if I don't pick at least one. So
Well, I hope you're wrong on both of those picks, but I'm not sure you will be. I have both of them pretty high on my list. They're obviously both highly ranked teams. And so, some nice picks as we get to kind of the get into the midway territory. I will.
yeah, that pick was just, let me just say, like, so I didn't have to pick Alabama. If we get back around and they're still there, I'm going to feel forced to, but
Yeah, I refuse to say the sentence I like Ole Miss, but I think Ole Miss is a really capable football team this year.
I love the way you put that. I'm with you on that right there.
I'll take as my fourth and fifth Florida State and Utah. And Florida, I think, both of those may be a little bit polarizing. Florida State, a lot of people don't know that they're going to be able to follow up last year quite as successfully, a team that was right there. I mean, looking like a clear playoff team until having a quarterback injury, and then was obviously really controversial for them to get left out. I do think they're going to be really good again in an ACC that is not great, has certainly some other notable contenders along the way, but I will take a swing on the Seminoles following up last year with another strong year, and then Utah making the transition over to the Big 12. They are a program under Kyle Whittingham that has become among the steadiest in the country until seeing Cam Rising injured late last season and kind of derailing their
I'm
season a little bit.
super excited to see him coming back, especially with Dorian Singer, who they added from USC, that all Pac-12 wide receiver. I'm super excited to watch them. That was another one that you stole from me. I just didn't want to have two big reactions in a row. So
Well, look at you. Look at the maturity of you learning to temper some of the shenanigans. But
not all.
that's where I'm at, Knowles and Utes.
All right. So just to recap, we're halfway there for you, Jared. You've got Georgia, Ohio State, Penn State, Florida State, and Utah. I've got Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, and Ole Miss. I'm going with my 5th and 6th picks right now. Let's just put them together because they always seem to get put together. I'm going Alabama and LSU. That's what we'll do right there. I didn't want to pick Bama, but you put me in a corner.
You
So what am I?
literally the last thing you said was that you took Ole Miss because you didn't want to take Bama,
And then
you
I
come
said, if
back
you
with
didn't
Bama.
pick them, that I would come back and feel like obligated to pick them. What am I going to do? Put my basket in Mizzou? No.
You're playing mind games here.
I know. Hey, that's what the draft is about.
You make me think I can get them a little bit later.
Yeah. Listen, it's fantasy football draft season, baby. All right. I'm in it for the games. All right. All right. Let's go with you.
So I will take, at the risk of you taking another team that I have heard you repeatedly say you hate, and for this year specifically, I'll take Clemson for another ACC team.
Haterade! Hateration! Holleration! The hate is flowing through me. I'm calling haterade right now. We're doing
decibels. You hit decibels on that.
Yeah, Clemson's gonna suck, bro. All right. I think they take another step back. I think Debo Sweeney's inability to get on the transfer portal thing.
Sweeney, he said.
Whatever. I don't care about his name. Debo Samuel. No, that's not right either. I think his inability to get in line with the transfer, the landscape of the transfer game is going to continue to hurt Clemson. And that's my reasoning behind it. I was waiting for you to say Clemson. So.
Okay. Well, I just did. And we heard about it really quickly. I took Florida State over Clemson partially because I felt like you might take Florida State sooner than you would take Clemson.
I was absolutely going to.
And so I thought I might be able to get both of those teams. And then Kansas State and Utah, I think those look like the two likeliest class teams of the leaders of the Big 12. And so somewhat hedging a little bit there. Maybe they both get in, but I feel good that at least one of them does.
I'm thinking about my last picks here. I'm definitely going to go with Mizzou.
Who you also just a second ago. I don't know if I can say it. It's probably fine.
No. Oh, man. Curse jar for you. We don't get that a lot. Oh, it took me a while to even say it. No, and one of the main reasons I'm going to go with Mizzou is because they avoid Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss, LSU, and Tennessee. They have a fairly easy schedule in the SEC, which is always going to carry some weight with you. So if they can get past those early stages, the back half of their schedule is just super duper easy. And they're a very capable team. I mean, we saw, especially just harkening back to the game against LSU, they were step and step with LSU on offense last year. That also means they were step in defense with us too. But Mizzou's going to be my first pick.
Thank the purple and gold gods for, Major Burns' interception late and a couple of other timely plays to survive that trip.
Yes. And then last pick.
You realize you still have another turn after this, right?
Last pick of the Power 4 teams, if you would let me finish.
Apologies.
Sir. Yeah. And this one is from the heart. It's going to be actually, I just flip-flopped mid-sentence of what I thought I was going to do. Oh man. Actually, no, I'm going to go with NC State, strictly off a name. Kevin Concepcion. Okay. It's the best name in football. He's a really good wide receiver. And that's what I'm going with, Are you
I'm gonna haterade that just because we're at a point now where that's your last Power 4 team, and I've got to hate on somebody. I think the Wolfpack are a pretty steady team that has a chance in a not great ACC, but by nature of the rules and having to throw some out there, I will hate on them.
Yeah,
and it's fine. I mean, we've both alluded to the fact that we grew up North Carolina basketball fans, so hating on NC State in anything is a good time.
That was where my heart was lying at first, and I switched. I was gonna pick UNC just because I like UNC and I wanted to root for them. But
yeah, I would have hated on that even harder. Even though
I know that's what I thought too. It's like they just got a running back, man. That's all they're working with.
So that's your 8. So
So you get one power forward, and then you need to pick one non-power team. Or you can pick the non-power first if you want. It's your
Yeah.
will.
So all right. So I've got 2 here. You've got 2, and then it ends on me. I'll take my 2 swings of G5 teams with Boise, who I think is actually a solid football team. They've got some early tests, but I think they can lose one of those games potentially and still end up being the highest ranked G5 team, G5 champion. So I'll take Boise, and then on the flip side, I'll take Liberty, whose schedule a is a relative cakewalk, and I don't know that they'll lose a game, and so the likelihood that they potentially run the table, I'll take that swing with them.
I love
So
that.
that's my 8 and 9.
All right. 8 and 9. These are going to be my last 2 picks. Hey, we are PODnas. We are a sports show with a Southern flair. I'm not going to let them go unpicked. Tulane, you're coming with me. Let's ride. Um, I can't wait to see these teams' new white helmets in
Yeah.
rotation. Those look dope. And then I'm also going to go with Miami of Ohio.
Okay. I really think Tulane's going to be very good this year. They have the coaching change and whatnot, but I love Summerall. I love the energy that they have still with that program. They're super deep at receiver. They've got a great running back. Offensive line steady. Really liked what I saw from the defense, including again, depth at every level. Their schedule is so tough, but if they start well and get even one of those matchups against K-State or Oklahoma, then they could very easily be ranked within the first month of the season.
Absolutely. 1000%. Hey, I'm rooting for that to happen. So
if they do this and make the playoffs, I will be happy to see those points to you because it would be awesome for them.
Love that. So we got one more. You got one more power team. Who are you picking?
Man. I will take Tennessee.
All right.
I was torn there to lay it on the
Tennessee
table.
replacing a quarterback. We'll see how that
goes. Nico's good though. I was torn there between Miami, who I do think is going to be good, but also have just seen some of their game management stuff the last couple of years be so painfully head scratching that regardless of how talented they are, that concerns me in big games.
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
Tennessee, Tennessee's been really good the last couple of years. Didn't have the quarterback play they necessarily would have liked last year, and I have confidence in Nico and this overall Vols team to potentially be a third or fourth SEC team that gets into this. And so you took all the non-Georgia SEC teams, and so I'll take another SEC team to take a swing with the SEC.
All right. Hey, and the stage is set. All right, the draft is done. We picked our teams. Just to go through these real quick, Jarrett's got Georgia, Ohio State, Penn State, Florida State, Utah, Clemson, K-State, Boise, Liberty, and Tennessee. I've got Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Ole Miss, Alabama, LSU, Missouri, NC State, Tulane, and Miami, Ohio. We're going to go into our last haterade pick of the day with graphic. Oh yeah, right there. Graphics popped up.
I don't know why I looked at the screen like I was going to see it.
We use our mind, and it'll be there for the people. Who is your haterade pick out of my teams? Now we've already got NC State out of there for me.
I don't know. This is risky. I'm not gonna hate on LSU. I don't have that in me.
Yeah.
And so it ends up coming down to Notre Dame, Alabama, or Mizzou. And bro, I was really hoping you were going to take A&M at some point because I was going to hate on that with everything I had.
Yeah. I would have been with you, so it would have been.
I'll hate on Mizzou.
It's a logical choice. Logical choice. I think for me, my haterade, I'm going to pick Utah for you. I just think with a team like that, there's not room for a single error in a grueling college football season, no matter where you're playing. It's hard for that not to happen. But I'm gonna go with that.
Fair.
Teams are set. We are going to do this. We're going to keep you updated on this all throughout the year. Where we're looking at, if the season ended today, once those playoff standings start to come out, we'll really kind of dive into that for the winner, who's going to get a song of Palooza to the other person, or from the loser. I'm so excited for that as well. I really hope I get to hear your chops, but if not, I'm going to come correct with my song. Okay. Don't you even worry.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt that if I win this, that it's going to be a full on production of
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah, it's getting broken out. We are like the beat, the MIDI
Yeah,
keyboard, everything is coming out. And one of the guitars in the
bars
back
will be
over here.
dropped.
Yes, bars. Bars about hardships that I've gone through this year, picking the wrong fantasy football teams in life and in college football. So that is all that we have for you for today. Jared, do you have anything that you want to get out before we get out of here?
No, man. I like my teams from this draft, and so I'll just say that I feel really good about the way this went for me this evening. And I mean, I always do the little plugs of there's a lot of great stuff hitting the channel. I've had a chance now to get to not only LSU but to Tulane and the Cajuns a couple of times, and so a lot of college football stuff hitting the channel. Also ramping up a lot of the high school preview type content. So a lot to look for while you wait for me to win this college football situation.
Hey, that's not going to happen. I said or I meant AAYEE, but I meant it as like A, like 0.1. B, I'm going to just shut up now and get us out of here. Thank you guys so much for catching up with us today.
B, I'm just going to get us out of here. See you later. Mickey Mouse Club style. We're out.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Please follow us on socials, PODnas_LA on Instagram. Go to Louisiana versus Ollie on the YouTube channel. Find this video, like, comment, share it with whoever. We would love to see you later. Podnas out.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And